Hey guys, this is Tashina from Logical Harmony. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Eye of Horus Essential Brush Kit and showing you a demo of how to get this eye look using the brushes. You guys have heard me talk about Eye of Horus for years. They're an amazing cruelty-free brand based out of Australia. They have tons of vegan options and they make some of my favorite products out there. So when I heard that they were doing brushes and that the brushes were both cruelty-free and vegan, I could not wait to try them. So I'm really excited that they're sponsoring today's video to talk about these brushes and share them with you guys. The brush set does come in this really nice little panel. It's made from eco-friendly cardboard, which is really handy. So it's really great for storage in your makeup collection or for travel. It just helps to ensure that the brushes aren't going to get damaged at all, and I really appreciate that nice touch. There are 4 different brushes in this set. This is their shadow brush, which is a really nice flat smooth brush. Also included is the bullet brush. This is a really good crease brush. I think it's really great for blending out shadows underneath your eye as well. Also included is a blending brush. This is so nice. It's very, very soft. It's very easy to use. There's also an angled brush, which I found really helpful along the lash line, but also for applying liner. So I think this is a really good set. If you have any of these eyeshadows, these are going to do so much for you. I can honestly say these are the best brushes that I've used with their eyeshadows so far. And I've been using their eyeshadows for several years and I was really blown away. You can tell that they put so much thought and so much energy into making sure that these were absolutely perfect for their eyeshadow formula. I have used them with other shadow formulas as well, and I was also really impressed. It just seems like they spent a lot of time really making sure that these were crafted to work the way that they wanted them to. These 4 will do so much for you, and I think that that is amazing. And something really exciting that Eye of Horus is doing is they're running a promo for the month of March where if you buy the set, you get a free eyeshadow palette of your choice. So if you haven't used their eyeshadows before, this is a really great way to try it, and you're getting the perfect brushes for the set. So I think that is an amazing promo. The Sheba and the Isis palette, which are 2 that I use today, are my 2 favorites from them. They're ones that I use pretty often. You guys have seen them on camera before, and I just think that they are great ones. So those are my suggestions. If you are going to pick up the set, get one of those palettes. So if you guys want to see how I got this eye look, if you want to learn more about the brushes and see how they apply product, just keep watching. So I'm going to start by curling my lashes today, and I'm going to use the Lash Curler from Eye of Horus. I really like this one because it's very gentle. It lets you apply just a little bit of pressure or more pressure if you want, so you really kind of have control over how it's curling your lashes and how it's treating them. And what I like to do is first curl near the base of my lashes and then curl about halfway out. And I just do a couple gentle squeezes each time. To start with the eyeshadows, I'm going to start with the Sheba Mystical Goddess palette. And I'm going to go in with this darkest shade here, which is Royal Abyss. And I'm going to apply that on my lid and focusing it on my crease. And to apply that, I'm going to be using the Goddess Blending Brush. This is a really good brush to help blend product in. And I like it because if you want a soft layer of color, it works really, really well to apply that all over. So when I apply this, I'm going to apply it first closer to my crease. That's where I want the most color. And then I'm going to blend it downwards and inwards toward the inner corner of my eye. And then as I put it on my lid, I'm doing patting motions, and I'm not adding any additional product. It's just to help put a nice base color down for the rest of everything else. When I'm applying this to my crease, I'm going to use gentle circular motions. I'm just applying the lightest bit of pressure. I just want a tiny bit of color just to really help give some definition. And you can see that that just gives a nice subtle wash of color, which is what I want to use to build up this look. And now that I have that wash of color all over the lid, I'm going to go in with the bullet brush and deepen up my crease. And I'm going to go into that same shade and just add more right into the crease and on the outer corner. I really want to build up that purple. And I'm really using this brush to apply the product, so it's really, really good for product placement. And then I'll go back in with that blending brush to just blend everything out. And I'm doing it this way so I can create a sort of halo effect to the eye. You guys will see what I mean when it's done. So now I'm going to go in with the blending brush and just blend this out. It looks a little bit sloppy, but it's gonna get better. So what I'm going to do next is I've just cleaned off my blending brush, and I'm going to go over it without any product and just use that to blend a little more around the edges. And in between each eye, I am going to clean off this brush. So going into the Isis Sun Goddess palette, I'm gonna go in with this shade here, which is Enigma Mist, and I'm going to be mixing that with a little bit of Sacred Husk. So this one is more of a true gold and this is a bit more of a rose gold. So I'm gonna mix the two together. And I'm going to apply them with the Goddess Shadow Brush. This is a really nice flat brush. It's really, really good for applying a product straight to your lid, whether it's wet or dry. I've done both with this brush and it works really great both ways. I'm gonna start with it dry and then just mix these two just a little bit. And then I'm gonna start patting that color onto my lid. And I'm really gonna focus on the center of my lid, which is where I left kind of that slightly emptier space in the middle, if you guys can see. So that's where I'm gonna start applying this. I blended the purple there, but it's just to create that soft wash of color. I didn't want a ton right there. And then once I've applied it to the center of my lid at first, I am going to start applying it gently to the other parts of my lid. I just want the main color focus to be right there in the center. So I really want the center of my lid to pop a little bit more. So I'm gonna get the flat brush damp and then I'm going to go in with just a little bit more Enigma Mist. I really want more of those pink tones to come up in this look. And to get your brush damp, you could use any sort of setting spray. You could even use water. It's just important that you mist it onto the brush so that way it's not getting the bristles too wet, but just gives them a nice little bit of moisture to work with. And you guys can see that adding that little bit of moisture really helps to make that color pop and stand out a little bit more. If you wanted to do a really, really bold kind of foiled look with these shadows, going in with the wet brush is a great way to do it. You can really build up so much pigment that way. Now I'm going to go back in with that blending brush and I'm not adding any additional product, but I'm just going to blend the lines between the bronze shades and the purple. Next, I'm going to go back into Enigma Mist and I cleaned off that bullet brush, so I'm going to apply that to the inner corners of my lid just to give them a little bit of highlight. And I'm going to blend that just a little bit up onto my lid just to really brighten up that inner corner. To make it even more bright, I'm going to go back into the Sheba palette and use the shade Artifact just right up near my tear duct. I'm also going to apply that shade underneath my brow bone near my arch. Next, for my lower lash line, I'm going to take the angled brush and go back into Royal Abyss, which is the purple, and I'm going to apply this really, really closely to my lash line. I am going to blend it out afterwards, but I want to bring that kind of smoky effect underneath. This is also a really great brush if you wanted to apply eyeliner with it. If you get it damp and then dip it into the shadow, you can create a really rich, creamy liner look too. So I did take advantage of the fact that it is an angled brush and used it to help shape out what I'm going to carve out with my liner. I am going to do winged liner today and I'm going to go in with the Eye of Horus Liquid Eye Define. This is in the shade Black. And I really wanted to use that to help kind of create the base of my line. That way the black and the purple can kind of merge together. This is a really nice liner. I really like the felt tip because it's very fine, it's very precise, and it gives you a lot of control over the application. So it's very easy to do a very thin line, and it's also very easy to build that line up if you want a thicker liner look as well. And if black is not your thing, this does come in brown as well. And I find for me that what works with this liner, especially initially, is kind of laying it flat and stamping it against my lash line. That's a really easy way to create a very, very easy and smooth line. I know liner is a difficult place for a lot of us, myself included, and I found this to be one of the easiest liners to work with, especially when I do that method. And really what I'm doing first is I'm doing that baseline and taking it to meet that purple shadow. That's what I want to do first to just build a good baseline. And it's definitely not perfect right now, but now that I've brought it to meet the purple, I can start building out my wing. And for me, what is really helpful is actually I use this mirror from Eye of Horus. It has one side that's normal and one side that is magnified. And so the magnifying really, really helps. And what I find for me helps the most is to just hold it flat with my eyes. And with my eye shape, how I build out the wing is I just do very small pats. Think of it as making a bunch of little dots. It's time consuming, it's tedious, but I find that that's the best way to do winged liner. And everyone is a little bit different because all of us have different wrinkly eyelids, so it's just about figuring out what works best for you. So going in with that angled brush, I'm going to take more Royal Abyss and just redo my lower lash line. I really want to smoke it out just a little bit. Going back into the Isis Sun Goddess palette, I'm going to take the bullet brush and the shade Sacred Husk and use that to blend out the purple underneath my lash line. Going to go back into Royal Abyss with that bullet brush and just add a little bit more to the outer corners of my upper lids. And then I'm going to use the blending brush to blend that out. And now I'm going to finish up with the Bio Lash Lift Mascara. And this is such an interesting wand. I feel like I talk about it every time I use it. For me, this is the only mascara that has really helped to hold a curl in my lashes. And because of the shape, I'm able to use it without curling my lashes, and it gives that appearance of them being curled. So it just really helps to open up the eyes, and it's really good for length and for volume. And for my lips, I did mix 2 of their lipsticks. I mixed the shades Honey and the shade Plum. I found that this just gives a really nice depth. And then I popped a little bit of Artifact from the Sheba Royal palette and just patted it right onto the center of my lips to help give it a little more depth to it. It kind of helps to make your lips look a little bit bigger. I hope you guys like this look, and I'll see you next time.